Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, my loves. And thank you so much for joining me today. Hello. How are you? I'm sorry, you guys. I'm streaming on Facebook live at Coach RRE, and I'm also streaming live on Periscope. And I'm really, really, really excited. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you. You guys are coming in. Thank you, thank you. Sherry, if you guys don't mind, could you go ahead and drop your name down so that I could properly greet you? I want to thank you all so much for joining me. Today is going to be our conclusion for part 1 of how to transform trauma, negative experiences. So our part 1, we've been talking about the mindset, the mind shift that needs to take place in order to learn how to transform trauma. So for those of, thank you so much for the hearts, Ricardo, and thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. You guys, I'm really excited. I'm not going to keep you long. I'm going to go into a quick recap so that we can kind of like have a little bit of framework and have clarity as we go into this discussion a little bit. But for those of you that are just now joining me, I am Robyn Robbins, founder and CEO of Robyn Robbins Enterprises, where I faithfully, humbly, and excitedly serve as a best-selling author, a certified transformation life coach, speaker, and advocate. I basically empower women to transform trauma. I teach them how to transform trauma, how to transform those negative experiences in order to create their ideal, thriving life. That's basically what I do in a nutshell. And if you guys kind of see me looking back and forth, let me try to see if I could line this up a little bit better so that I can look in one direction. That would be great. Let me see if we can move that. Hello, Black Book. And thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. Okay, I think this is going to work a little bit better. Okay, let me see here. Let me see. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, yes. I like that better. That situation is working out for me better. Yeah, this is better. Okay, now let me move it around a little bit. Okay, I'm sorry about that, you guys. So basically, quick recap, okay? If you haven't already, you guys, I've been telling everybody to go ahead and click on the link that you will see in my bio here, or if you're watching on Facebook, the link will be inside of the what they call this thing. It's the feed, where you can join my free, absolutely free Life Cleanse Challenge. This will give you the jump start, okay, that you need or that you may desire for, just transforming some things as it relates to the residue of the trauma or negative experiences you may have experienced, okay? This talks about the mindsets. It gives you some activities and some things that you can do to go ahead and start to identify and clarify those things. And then, secondly, right, it will help for you to get an idea of what it is that you want. And then thirdly, have you begin to implement some certain tasks and steps to bring those things to pass and into manifestation. Okay, so enough about all of that good stuff. Let's dive into this quick recap. I want to let you guys know that it has been such an experience, an amazing experience at that, as it pertains to what we've been doing with this How to Transform Trauma series. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve and to share with you all on how to do that, what it takes, and what's required, right? And so our part 1 of how to transform trauma is entitled Renewing the Mind. And today we are going to be talking about self-talk. On this past Tuesday, we spoke about identifying belief systems, okay? Just for a quick recap, the belief system is basically a system of thoughts that one has that governs what's right for them, what's wrong for them, what is true and what is false. And in our last live that we did on Tuesday, we were able to identify and recognize how that connects and relates to those traumatic and or negative experiences that we sometimes go through, right? And how it gives us a message and gives us a perception of how we perceive the self, which is ourselves, and how we perceive that actual experience, right? So we understand now the importance of identifying those belief systems. You were told the last time to think back, try to identify your beliefs surrounding those experiences as it pertains to the experience and the belief system that you may have received as a direct result from that experience that you believe about yourself. So one, we had to identify them. Once we identified them, 2, we had to write them down. And then 3, the last takeaway from last week was simply to begin to chip away at those belief systems with the truth. Now, we conclude this whole Renewing the Mind Part 1 series with how we chip away at it with the truth. And the way that we do that one tool, that amazing, simple, practical tool, you guys, is self-talk. A lot of times when we have these different experiences, you all, like I said, it affects the way we perceive that experience, and it begins to affect the way that we see ourselves as a direct result of that experience. So what's good to do is to begin to chip away at those beliefs with the truth. Let me give you an example. If you experience, let's say in my case, and I use this example a lot, sexual assault, one of your belief systems as far as the experience itself may believe that you brought it on yourself, that it's your fault that it happened to you, right? And another belief that you may have as a direct result of that experience about yourself is, because this has happened to me, I do not feel as though I am worthy of a relationship or that I am worthy of real love, okay? These 2 beliefs have to be chipped away at, and it has to be completely replaced, okay? We have to release it, and we have to replace it, okay? And one of the ways, this is just one way, my loves, one of the ways we do that is through self-talk. So when you begin to feel that feeling of, I'm not worthy to have a relationship that is loving and deserving, because I feel as though I'm damaged goods because of the fact that I have been raped. You see what I'm saying? When those feelings start to come, when something happens that begins to trigger that, one of the ways we can counteract this is to walk ourselves through self-talk, okay? By identifying the fact that we are experiencing a belief that is not true. Does that make sense? So what are some things that we can say during this self-talk while we are experiencing that? We can say, self, you are loved. Self, you are deserving. Self, you are worthy of an amazing, loving, comfortable relationship. That is what you deserve. We have to begin to talk against the belief that's not serving us. We learned in the very, very first part of the series about our mind. and how it's important when we want to see change, when we want to transform a thing, how it starts in our mind, right? We learned this in part one, the importance of really, really, really replacing automated messages and systems that is in our subconscious mind. And this is one of the ways that we can do that, by simply talking to yourself. Let me explain this to you. Just the same way we have those thoughts, right? That we're not worthy, that we can't have the relationship that we want, that we brought this on ourselves, or whatever the thought may be, the same way that you allow that self-talk to be heard is the same way you need to shut that self-talk down and allow the truth to be heard. And it's gonna take a little while. It's not gonna happen overnight. As I stated before, we learned under the first topic how you have to continue to build that muscle until it becomes second nature. And once it becomes second nature, that is now an automated system that has been replaced in the subconscious mind. Okay? So simply talk to yourself and tell yourself the truth. Self, you are worthy. Self, you are loved. Self, you are loving. Self, you are deserving of all the love and peace and promise that comes to you. You are loved. We have to tell ourselves the truth. Now, this may be a little different, and this may vary when it comes to a traumatic experience or a negative experience that is more of a trigger. It's more of a flashback. It's more of feelings, like things beginning to happen because you're kind of beginning to relive a thing, right? And that's practically normal. I want you to know this, okay? There's nothing wrong with you, my love. Okay, let's be clear on that. That is normal when you have experienced traumatic experiences and or negative experiences. That is normal. And so how we combat that is simply by talking to ourselves. And one of the ways that I like to combat that type of trigger is by telling the self that you are no longer in the same environment. You have to say, self, this is not the same environment. Self, this is not the same experience. Self, these are not the same people. Self, I know something may have been said that sounds similar, but self, remember, this is not the same. Simply give yourself a pep talk. So the first part of that pep talk is identifying everything that is different. Everything that is different. Take a look around the room. See the different environments and all of that good stuff. And tell yourself it's not the same. And walk yourself through all the ways that it's not the same. And then take a deep breath. Okay? So that's basically what I wanted to talk to you all about today. This concludes our part one of this series. We will now go on to part two, how to transform trauma. We're going to get into some amazing things, but I just wanted to take the time to share this with you and show you the importance of our mind, of our mindset, and how to shift the mind and get it into a place and get it into a gear, kind of raise our awareness and our consciousness enough to begin to apply the practical tools and the things that we are about to get into starting next week. So again, thank you for joining me. I'm Robyn Robbins, founder and CEO of Robyn Robbins Enterprises, where I faithfully, humbly, and excitedly serve as a best-selling author, a certified transformational life coach, speaker, and advocate. You have been tuning into this amazing series, How to Transform Trauma, How to Transform Negative Experiences. Part one has been renewing the mind. Today was self-talk. If you haven't heard it all day today, I want you to know that I love you. You are loved, my loves. And this is why I call you my loves. I want you to know that you are loved. And if you haven't heard it all day today, know that I believe in you. Greater is here, is just waiting for you to capture it. You deserve to live the ideal, thriving life that you want, okay? So I'm here to share and add value and help in that way and serve in any way that I possibly can to help you manifest and achieve your ideal, thriving life. It is time to go beyond surviving to thriving, okay? No matter what you've been through, no matter what you see, no matter what you've experienced, never allow it to take you away, if that makes any sense. So with that being said, continue to be unique, be bold, and be you. I love you. Thank you so much for joining me. And do not forget to sign up for my free Life Cleanse Challenge where you can get a jump start on this, okay? So I love you so much. Have a great day, you guys, and I'll see you soon. Mwah. Bye-bye.